So when you think of psychology, you think of therapy. You think of sitting down and talking to people about their feelings. Essentially pseudoscience to get them on drugs. This whole industry has been destroyed. And in fact, if you want to go into a career in psychology, you're probably going to be broke. It's just a stupid thing to go into. A lot of the people you're going to deal with will be the people struggling the most in the world, because many of the myths of modern culture are going to make them hate themselves, make them depressed, all these type of things. It's a hard life to go forward. And the thing is that if you're interested in psychology, you are focusing on one of the most powerful skills in terms of income potential, which is shocking when you think about it, because people can't wrap their heads around this. But psychology, properly applied, is a master key to pretty much incredible levels of wealth. And the reason why I'd say this is because I've been running my program. People will come in at various levels of skills, and I'd start to get CEOs in. I start to get people running businesses, entrepreneurs and stuff like this. And over time, I'd start to see the things that they value the most, the things that they think are the most important and powerful thing. And I'd constantly notice this pattern where it's psychology is the thing that keeps coming up. Now, psychology, they don't say it as psychology, but they'll say something like people skills, or the ability to manage a person, or ability to understand a person. Because of course, think of yourself as an entrepreneur. You're a CEO, you're running a business, okay? Now, what do you need to run the business? You can't do it yourself. You're the guy in the top of the ship. You're the guy with the vision. You can't run the business with your own hands. You can't steer the ship. You can't row every single row in the rowboat. You need people to do that. And how do you get those people to work, to do what you want them to do? You need to understand them. Because if you just go in and you just say, so just row that boat there, and they're depressed and they're angry and they hate you, and you speak rude to them, or you don't put them in the right position, or maybe, there's someone who'd be very good at pulling up the mast and the sails, but you aren't perceptive enough to notice how they work, so you stick them on the row and they end up being inefficient. Your ship is not going to work. Someone won't be rowing on one side and the ship will just go around in circles, and then eventually you'll run out of food and you'll drown, you'll die, and your business will go broke. And so this is well understood. It's called leverage. All right, I'm here to educate you boyos. Leverage, where you get other people to conduct specific roles to allow you to get the ship to roll, so that you can steer the ship, so that the ship takes you all to the harbor and you get all rich and wealthy, and all you can celebrate because you get a great project done. These people running these great organizations, psychology is the biggest thing for them. It's the single most important thing. I would say Elon Musk doesn't spend that much time thinking about engineering. I would say, Jeff Bezos is not obsessing about the technical details as much as we think. He's probably spending an awful lot of time thinking, who are the right people to put in these specific spaces? I've got this orchestration, I've got this business going. How do I figure out how to get the best people put in here? How do I perceive and judge people properly so that I can place them into these positions? And how do I communicate to them so that I can lead their personality well and articulate myself well and present myself well? And this is all psychological skills. This is the ability to empathize, the ability to understand and to model people out, to understand how people work, to figure out how to get them to tick, to put all that stuff together. Now, this for a CEO, can you think of how much money this is generating them? To put the right person in the right place. First of all, they'll pay that person, like at the top level of big companies, they'll be paying these people millions a year. With that alone, if they're paying them millions a year, think how much value they're generating. They're generating unbelievable sums of money. And not only that, but they're freeing them, which is so important. So the value of that skill is beyond belief. It's quantifiable definitely at the level of millions. But you motherfuckers sell yourself short. You say to yourself, oh, right, well, I'll talk about depression, or I'll complain about stuff on Twitter, or I'll talk about Jung, and I'll talk about Freud and all this stuff. It's like you're sitting on a gold mine. You're sitting on the most important functional skill I've ever seen. And this is not even to talk about going into sales, going into marketing, going into all these type of things, all these other career paths, all these other communication skills. I listened to a load of marketers, a load of sales guys and all this stuff. I saw a brilliant one the other day where the dude said, a good sales guy sells. A great sales guy understands people. And that is so true. So true. A great marketer markets. A good marketer markets. A great marketer thinks about people, thinks about the audience, thinks about how they work. Edward Bernays, the big bad evil man, he was Freud's nephew. He was a guy who took Freud's theoretical knowledge and applied it to mass marketing. And he was a bit of a sicko, sick in the head. But at the same time, he was incredibly efficient in the way that he applied this knowledge. He applied it to something that was very focused and pointed. He was perceptive in how people work, and he used that to exploit them and make, generate lots of wealth. Now, of course, you can do that. Just don't exploit people. Try to do it in a good way. In fact, the internet is quite good because it's so transparent that it encourages you to be authentic and be true and not to scam people because you can get found out about it. So it's actually brilliant in that respect because it's forcing you to do things in an authentic way. You can't be Edward Bernays. I bet you're mad about that one. I bet you're angry about that one. Well, luckily you can. Delighted to hear that. So the point being is that this set of skills where you are good with people, perceptive in how people work, empathetic, and you are articulate and you understand how people to speak and present. But all these skills, they can unlock incredible levels of wealth. And believe me, over the next couple of years, you're going to need that stuff. So if you're interested in learning how to take these skills, these nascent potentials inside of yourself, and have me train you on how to manifest them and bring them to their highest potential and generate for you a income creating skill, you should apply down below for my program. You'll come on in and I will teach you and I'll show you everything that I know, and I'll turn you into a juicy beast. We'll look at the potential inside you as an individual, and we'll show you how to apply it to the real world. So thank you very much for your time. Stay juicy, and I'll talk to you soon.